but I'd love to see it.
It would be cool, of course. Tom stepping in for Bengi. Like, I'm trying to work out which year it is. It's a crazy time to be alive, Wolf. We'll see whether T1 are going to be able to figure this one out. First up, it is going to be the Tristana band as we hop into the draft for our first game. Viego taken away from Oner, trying to take some agency away. Look at that little wry grin on his face there as well.
The Poppy ban, I think, is extremely smart here. And for the Sejuani to match as well from Genji, I think also wise. Just eliminate the ability for Zeus to have an impact here in the top lane with the Sejuani duo, but be it the Renekton or the Jax into Doran. And then, you know, as Genji here, you don't have that strong Poppy that can make an impact in your strong side, which is how Genji played so much of 2022 summer, where they also were able to defeat T1 in that incredible run. So nice adaptations here from the side of T1. Now, will we see that Nico make it through? Ooh. I mean, I think if you're Genji, you're not as worried about it. It is Poby who would be piloting it, and T1 may just simply ignore it.
This is the crazy thing, right? Because if it's Faker, then it has to be banned. His Nico was, like, even before she got buffed up the wazoo.
Yeah.
She is, like, he was incredible at the champion. T1 are going to forego that pick completely. They're going to opt in for the LeBlanc. She has been very, very strong.
But
especially
now,
on this patch with the Static Shiv still being broken.
Genji can pick up the Kai'Sa, which will operate as a flex here.
Oh, true.
And I think that's why they specifically didn't ban the LeBlanc instead of the Nico. They wanted to leave that open to trade it for the Kai'Sa. I say that, but time is ticking down here, and I think it's a pretty easy lock-in if it is, of course, going to be your plan. And they will lock it here with the Vi. Lee Sin for Oner going back to some comfort here, and the Xayah into the Vi as well. And T1, I mean, they are ready to play this single target blow-up composition.
They really are. And now, did Genji just lock away the Ahri, get that Vi-Ahri combo, or is it some Nico for the mid lane? Chovy, of course, he did have that infamous Nico game where he pretended to be a minion and Faker was like, by the way, there's 4 melees, so let's just walk away. And they did, and then everything was fine. That was the last time Genji and T1 met up.
We'll probably see some support bans traded here. I think if you're T1, you're a little bit concerned about the Nautilus. If you're Genji, obviously the Rakan needs a look in terms of what it could do to set up fights here and can really save you in terms of engage. The Alistar ban indicates that they want to also pull a Rel out of T1. Nautilus will go away first. I think that's honestly the bigger concern, especially when we consider how mobile this composition is for T1. But without the Alistar, I do think that the Rel will probably still have to be banned here. And Genji has so much power at this stage of the draft because T1's comp is so face-up.
Yeah, and you can just, you either ban Rakan or Rel, I guess, if you want to. Probably Rakan. No, they're not going to. So they're going to allow the Lovers Duo to go through, or Delight is just going to play his favorite champion. The Rel is going to be banned here on T1 side, and that gives them a free Rakan.
T1, well, they decide not to ban the Rakan so they can pick it up themselves, and T1, I think, are 100% forced to ban Rel here because Genji will take it first. They have pick priority, and it doesn't operate as well with T1's composition. The Cassante I do really like here. It feels safe. It's blindable. It's a pick that allows you to front to back a little bit here with this Xayah, but it doesn't necessarily index fully into what this comp's identity is, and it's going to have to be played as a poke if you do it as the Janna being hovered here. More of a response we've seen to the Rel that was banned, so I don't know if that one's actually going to end up coming through here. Also, can be great into Nico.
He has been known to cook in the past.
He's quite a chef.
Yeah, but his Thresh has always been absolutely amazing. Can now keep Gumayusi pretty safe if he does decide to go with it. 9 seconds, though. Keria still having a think about exactly what he wants to do. Renata going to come in. Crocodile now for Doran. Very happy to go towards it. Bit of a Shurima battle there towards the top side of the map. Cassante versus Renekton. Not exactly the most inspiring R5. You know, there were years past where we'd be grimacing a lot at an R5 Renekton, but I think we're kind of okay with it here into the Cassante.
I think what Genji's composition does is a lot of different things because it has the ability to poke with Kai'Sa. That's why she's so incredible, but she also has the follow-up for all of this hard engage with Rakan, Renekton, Vi, Nico. And what T1 have is a little bit of burst damage, right, if you index fully into the LeBlanc Lee Sin to try to blow up a single target. But then you're then going to have to be trying to Shiv poke with LeBlanc. Otherwise, it's a very low range composition with the Xayah, And the Casante's role becomes a punching bag in this game because what he's going to have to do is just soak up all the damage while those Shiv procs come in repeatedly, and we see Poby try to find a target. Whereas Gen.G, they see that LeBlanc go in, they could just lock her down instantly. They can lock down the Casante and blow him up first, and I think T1 have a lot of pieces of a good idea here. And in isolation, this comp isn't bad, but what Gen.G's does is everything else so much better.
Yeah, the problem is, like, if I saw this Tier 1 draft and the nameplates were as expected, I'd be like, oh, we have a game on our hands. But now, I see it and I'm like, Poby's got some big old shoes to fill in this particular game, especially on Faker's most iconic champion. We'll see whether he can. So we jump onto the Rift for Game 1 of our Saturday Showdown. One of the first times here in Lowell Park that, according to me, the fan chant was louder for Gen.G, but it might be because we're over this side of the arena. Still, this is a full house today.
It certainly is. I mean, like I said, you could take Faker out of the Rift, but you can't actually change the gravity of what this series is for these two insanely rival teams. Like, the rivalry between these two has built so much.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since Gen.G said, you know, Samsung is us now. Like, we're Gen.G. We're changing the brand. But even if you go back to the Samsung days, there's a rivalry here between T1 or SK Telecom T1 and Samsung. And, like, that rivalry has built up so much with how many times these two have clashed. That was one of the big things we looked at, of course, going into the pre-show, because there's just such a rich history between these two squads across multiple rosters for both teams. And, you know, it's a tough one for T1 tonight, but that doesn't mean the T1 fans aren't going to be any more hopeful or any more excited to cheer for their favorite team.
Yeah, I mean, between 2013 and 2017, the only world champions were either Samsung or T1, or SKT at the time. So, like you say, this one dates back a real long time. 2016, 2017, trading blows between the two squads, as everyone remembers. Some of the best moments in LoL esports history. Peanut going to be starting on his top side here, fully seen, as that ward did go over. Doran and Zeus just fighting this one out. And I think eyes are going to be glued to what Chovy's going to be able to get done on this Nico, and whether Poby is going to be all right here in this lane. Currently losing a little bit of health, but we know this one as somewhat of a volatile matchup. You know, you get hit by too many of these blooming bursts, things can become an issue.
Yeah, I do think that the Ahri is the right choice here for Chovy this time around, so he could trade aggressively with autos no matter what when Poby decides to get aggressive, and he will be able to match some of that damage early, and then as these items start to come through, obviously the LeBlanc will have a little bit more agency, can start to deal with the wave clear a little bit better. And as you can see, Chovy decided to spend most of his energy attacking the enemy. This is an insane win rate here for Oner. Yeah. But he spent a lot of his mana and resources attacking Poby, so the wave will push through, but that makes him safe here. And both of these junglers are pathing bottom side, so we will see some action here in this bottom lane very soon. A lot of agency for this Rakan. Handshake here for Keria can be a way to set up an engage or disengage, but it's just so much damage here early for Pays and Delight if this Vi comes down.
Yeah, it could be really scary. I'm very interested to see what Keria is going to be able to get done. He looked very off in their last series, especially on the Alistar. And I'm hoping that we see a bit of a resurgence. He was outspoken saying that he felt like could have performed much better when they were up against DRX. Certainly circumstance does play a part there, but expecting to see something better.
Level 3.
Nice little handshake there under Delight.
Yeah, handshake hits. Have these few extra minions, but Peanut's on the Gromp, and we are going to see him come down here just to cover for a moment. As Oner also looking to take this scuttle. Teleports traded in mid, and it's a very quiet early game here. In terms of scaling, you know, it's pretty similar what these two compositions are going to try to achieve, and it's not like either of these teams needed to get something done early.
Yeah, you don't have, like, obvious side lane win conditions. It's not a Jax game. No. It's not like a Camille game or something like that. This is a little bit more, we want a team fight, very short range on both sides, as Oner is going to find Chovy, but he gets snared. Peanut over the side, only level 4, no cease and desist going to come through, and therefore Oner will be able to wander away.
Yeah. Oner was never really in any danger there because he could ward hop away. Will of course cost him his ward totem, but don't think he's too concerned about that, and will be just fine. Because up here on the top side, early game Renekton, is going to be able to get some small advantages here into the K'Sante matchup, as you can see if Doran can grab an early plate or something like that. And both the Renekton and the K'Sante fall off in big ways in this game because, like you said, neither of them are side lane threats, but also I feel like what Zeus can do in this composition is somewhat less than what you could do with a longer-ranged AD carry or a safer one like the Aphelios that could really be up in the thick of things with the K'Sante. It's a nice chain.
Yeah, very nice trade there from Poby. And yeah, I completely agree. I think more on the team fighting side, and Renekton notoriously going to fall off a little bit more. Zeus always has the ability to take someone out of a fight. And that could certainly be an opportunity here as Oner's going to come down towards his bottom side, try and get a shove in. Look for a potential dive, but they've ran out of minions. And Handshake comes through. All right, Delight's battle dancing around. There's the grand entrance, though. And Oner's taking so much damage. He does have the bailout, but it doesn't work. Delight is going to survive, and Gen G underneath the turret. They have no health.
Pace?
But T1 aren't going to go for it.
He doesn't even have to flash here. Poby
Whoa,
is also down to the minions.
They turn him.
Oh, Atlas, this is not the start you're looking for. If you're
But it almost was.
It almost was, but even with bailout, you don't want to be trying to hard force on a Rakan like that as Doran. Also, it's level 6.
All right, Zeus doesn't have the all-out, but Doran does have the Dominus. There's level 6, but Zeus not going to be able to get over there. So Doran looking for a little bit of a back time. I hadn't gone back home yet, and so just a shield against a Bramblevest, not a great sign.
Yeah, that wall could be used by K'Sante in multiple ways, obviously, when in that situation if he had 6, but because he didn't have it, didn't work out. Now, Oner opts into taking the Sonic Wave here onto Delight, who could just simply battle dance his way back, get the knock-up. Oner takes a ton of damage, so they attempt the bailout, but there's not enough damage. Delight's positioning fantastic. He flashes, Pays does not. They get the turret plate, but ultimately not a win here in any way for T1.
It is a win on the top lane because Doran had to flash, and Zeus ghosted, but it's a lower cooldown. So theoretically, an advantage, but still doesn't really work out. As we're going to see what happened in the mid lane, and this looked so close for Poby.
Yeah, see what happens here. Gets hit by the Q, flash is good. Poby hits the turret, or he gets hit by turret, and the minions are aggroed to him. The ranged minion will kill him.
And the panic flash there as well from Poby. You can understand exactly why he did it. Still a little bit sad there. Zeus just going on a little bit of a merry jaunt through the enemy jungle. Wandering around, the Crocodile looking for him. Just going to go back to the lane though by the looks of things. As Rift Scuttle going to be taken here by Peanut. Not exactly end of the world as far as gold is concerned, but it's already looking like Gen G are feeling a little bit more confident in this game. The pressure on T1 certainly feels like it is hitting one of the highest
no
for
doubt.
the season so far.
Doran here gonna try to build up some fury and now starting to proxy these minions. This does happen obviously in this lane quite a bit. You proc demolish, as long as you don't aggro the K'Sante, you're feeling very good. Now Oner trying to do this again. He does not have level 6. Okay, just hit it. He just hit it, so there's an opportunity. He doesn't have flash, but he could try to go for a kick play here.
Yeah. Oh dear, there's the Hex Flash. The grand entrance comes forward. Delight immediately battle dancing away. The flash has to be used from the Blade Caller, but man, this Gen G bottom lane, they were already good before they played this well.
They just handled that so well. I mean, yes, you lose your flash as Pays, so still a success on the side of T1 in that regard, but man, just not coming up with anything here, and it's just because this Rakan is so slippery. Delight Hex Flash is in for the engage, but still has the Battle Dance to get out, and Pays' flash gives him a wider range of escape. So he flashes, and then the Rakan can just join him. Very well played there by the bottom side duo that have built up so much synergy so quickly here. We always have to remind everyone he is a rookie as Peanut. He's going to get this.
Yeah, he will be able to get the eye. I'm not sure how much more he's going to get because Oner's going to turn up as well. That is the first kill for T1. Now lock down Peanut. He does have the Rift Herald, so perhaps some worths in chat. But I imagine T1 pretty happy for taking Peanut off the map.
Yeah, would have liked to get the eye as well. Going to pick up some money, but now, I mean, Pays is starting to threaten this turret here. Look at the zoning from Delight, who also now has level 6. Pays can all in with a follow-up ult if Keria is alone here, so they have to wait for Guma, so that's a free plate. And now there's so many places where you can actually feel good to drop the Herald.
Ooh, okay, Keria finds the handshake onto Pays, who does Cathian rain down. Delight now looking for a little bit of cease and desist himself, telling Gumayusi to stop. And he is going to agree for now.
Yeah. Not really in any danger there, but the Ignite committed does pull them away, so they won't be able to get any further value. So Peanut is doing this alone here, sweeps the ward. He is able to secure the eye, because obviously Oner is on the other side. And will come over here, and they will secure the kill. Goes over to the Cassante, not feeling too amazing with that one, but Peanut still gets the eye, so they're going to get plate gold wherever they decide to with the amount of control in all 3 lanes that Gen.G hold. And it might just simply be for the Kai'Sa, straight up the Renekton is super easy, but you don't really need to get him further ahead. He's already picked up 2 plates.
Yep, breaking mid lane out of turret, also a really good idea as well. Could have an option to do that as July8 is going to be spotted. Peanut has already put that one down, I believe, yeah. Set it in motion mid, and now Gen.G going to use that pressure. Move down towards this bottom side, possibly get a little bit of a shove in. Poby trying to deal with Chovy here, but as you can see, not going to stop that money from going over to the Nico.
Yeah,
here once again, yeah, July8.
He's playing so aggressively with this Rakan, and he's getting good vision here, and because he has, you know, the ability to escape so easily, he's just happy to go up here and go deep into the jungle and try to identify, is Oner here? Where is he? What is he looking to do? He's got his flash back up, so flash kick is something you have to be concerned about as you're trying to push this lane. And he's just not afraid. He's getting vision exactly where he needs to have it. He's got it now deep behind the turret, so they know they can continue to push that advantage there. Mid, picking up some plate gold. As you mentioned, trying to remove that really hurts LeBlanc's power. Now Oner's going to go up here for a potential topside play. They have a control ward, Gen.G do, in that river, so see if he actually gets spotted. Looks like he's going to take the long way around.
Yeah, almost brought a Gromp with him. Of course, a kind of cool strategy for Gen.G because they've got a Nico, as now Zeus getting aggressive onto Doran. Doran not actually going to bite off more than he can chew, which is something that is, you know, difficult for a Renekton because he's got very big jaws, but he's just not going to. He's just going to go home, and it looks like Oner is not going to be able to find too much joy there. No teleport, so Doran's just going to be slithering his way back towards the top side. That is not what lizards do, I know that. But, you know.
Looked like maybe Oner was going to pitch a tent up there on the top side of the map, but I think definitely a good choice to not. We'll back away. So they get the wave more towards the turret here, Zeus does.
I kind of hoped that Peanut would do it because that was kind of Score's thing, pitching a tent in the top lane, you know? Oh, it's his birthday today.
It's always Malrong for me, but
no, he pitches the tent in every lane, just never in his own jungle.
That's going to be the Dragon going over to Gen.G here. It is Chemtech Soul, so good news for T1. These 2 Drakes, while they are individually going to be impactful here, the Soul itself not going to feel like something that you're forced into fighting over early. As Chovy, he's going to grab another plate. Looks like not off of this wave, but off of the next one, he should be able to pick it up. He's still got 2 minutes to do so. And this LeBlanc has really been put down despite the early Shiv pickup here. This feels like he doesn't have one. I mean, he's getting pushed into his turret. And that wave clear isn't making an impact just yet.
Ooh, Chovy almost landing. Oh, he did actually land the snap. Poby just took it with him. And now looking for some autos as Peanut dives past Keria here. Oner in position. They do get the hostile takeover. Another flash has to come out, though. This Nico is so scary. Chovy hasn't even pop blossomed yet that we have seen.
Yeah, he has not. That's a flash down on a squishy Renata who also had to ult. You have no ultimate available now either. Should be able to get that one back up before the next team fight, but it's not coming up with anything here, unfortunately. And Pays, he is starting to become a menace here. And the problem with this Kai'Sa is that in this composition, the Kai'Sa follow-up is so much more impactful than what a Xayah is going to offer you early, even with Kraken Slayer, because it requires so much setup, and there's so many threats. As Doran up here is just having a great time as well on the Croc.
Yep.
Chovy potentially wanted to do some trickery. Will not be.
Pretend peanut. How many peanuts are there? There's 3! That's too many peanuts.
Poby, yeah, you better take that. Yeah. Take that dash back.
He is definitely redistorting. Can we agree that redistorting is a thing, you know, going back to the original? Yeah. Can that work? I don't know.
No, I'm sure I'm down with that.
I was just trying it out. Don't know whether I like it that much. I'll try it again, and then we'll see, and then maybe I'll just retire it forever. As Poby heading up towards this top side, you can see Zeus is going home. Poby can utilize this this static shift great effect. As you can see, already just one-shotting backlines. Having a good time.
Yeah.
There we go.
Doran just going to take this wave and head back. See that the wave that's been sent here in mid is caught by Pace with his Shiv. Shiv just makes it so that minions are Just stacks of gold to be claimed.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just what these teams are going to try to do here in this mid game. As the Herald now has spawned, Keria's ultimate still on cooldown from that last exchange, but if they could buy a little bit of time here and T1 do have some prio, maybe this is a fight that Gen G just don't want to opt into right now because it gives T1 the opportunity to take a big lead here and get this Kai'Sa ahead. The K'Sante getting tankier and tankier, only has the Thornmail right now, which isn't going to allow you to front to back as well as he'd like to, but still a big spike here for T1 when they have this much prio. Gen G going to think better about committing to this. They're going to push back the sides. They have Demolish on this Renekton. Delay trying to sell it, but I don't think T1 are interested.
Yeah, Poby going to move back down as well. Another Peanut on his way over. Poby just wandering the fake version in, and it looks like Gen G not really too interested about this. Rift Herald now taking out a turret.
3 turrets potentially being taken. One down here, one up here, and in mid, and it looks like Chovy's not quite able to get this one. They will stop the mid from going down as well. But Gen G know, okay, with this much prio, it's problematic to fight into this composition, to try to engage into it, even with this Nico. So we're going to put that Demolish Renekton bottom side, push the mid turret, and massive gold.
How Doran just seemed to be in amongst a whole lot of enemies, and none of them were actually close enough to see him. That is a stealth crocodile right there.
He's sneaky.
Oh, yeah. As Chovy, there's the Pop Blossom. He finds the LeBlanc, and poor Poby just going to be punched by Peanut.
And this is one of the only times with the composition they picked this first pick LeBlanc into, is with Vi open. It's one of the only times LeBlanc is not able to freely side lane. Into a comp like this, you will just be chained to death. And yeah, it took a little bit longer than I was initially expecting, but yes, all 3 turrets will in fact go to Gen G and trade for second Herald here, and Gen G's gold lead is really mounting. And watch this again, Peanut's so far up here that it's really easy for Chovy, even at this stage, to commit the ultimate. Distortion isn't going to be enough to get him away. Follow up, Peanut, he presses R. It doesn't get much more elementary than this, but LeBlanc, normally with this meta, she wants to be able to freely side because she's got such a great escape, but when it's point and click, the answer is you're not going home.
Nope. Especially not when Chovy has Pop Blossom, and there was nowhere for Poby to go after the Distortion. Didn't even get to re-Distortion.
Nope.
As it turns out. As Poby now into the bottom lane, trying to do the same thing. But right now, game certainly fully in Gen G's control. Chovy, we remember last time he was in this position. Made a pretty good play, seem to remember, in round 1.
It was pretty big.
It was. Pretty good one.
Very different compositions, but the same threat is definitely real here. As Faker not being on this roster means some of the shot calling is a little bit slow here. T1 grouped up, but not in a position to fight. And while you have prio, it doesn't mean anything if you can't start this straight quickly. And Gen G are already mounting a flank here with Delight and Peanut. You got to be faster than this.
A lot of crocodiles in this river. It is, I guess, their natural habitat. Kind of makes some sense here. As the Void Seeker going to fly forward, Pace can always turn up as Peanut in position in the back of the pit. There's the flash, the Pop Blossom, and Gumayusi has to use everything to try and escape. But the grand entrance was too good from Delight, and no amount of bailing out will afford you an escape in this one. Gen G just wiped the floor with T1 Poby limping away at the end.
There's just no way to call that flank out if you're not shot calling faster, because Poby's got to be out there making sure that Delight can't get that long con flank, because Guma reacted basically perfectly to the engage. He's able to back off and then use his ultimate to escape most of the engage, but then suddenly a Rakan appears, and then you've used everything you have, and you're still just gonna get blown up here because Gen G have so much follow-up, and if you could lock the Rakan away on a side, maybe you could stop this from happening. Delight, Peanut and Delight both setting up the edge here. Keria is looking for a big ultimate right now, but it doesn't really hit anybody. And the follow-up here from Delight is insane.
Yeah.
And that's just the end of that. I mean, if Keria's ult's a little bit better angled, maybe there's hope here. But it just wasn't.
Wasn't to be. And Gen G, like, I'm often in Gen G games wondering, like, who's going to get POG? Oh, it's so hard. I mean, right now, Delight is so far out ahead, right? Like, it's nutty how well this guy is playing. And that is without bias. Of course, I voted for him for OPGG Player of the Week for last week. Definitely performing very well here today. So I mean, maybe I was just a week early, you know?
I mean, he single-handedly, essentially, with some help from Pace, obviously, some good positioning and some nice flash play, just shut down all the aggression early and just completely made the top side free for Doran. As we're going to see potential long con collapse play here. Peanuts all the way over here. Chovy.
Yeah, Chovy just going to get out of there. There's a Pop Blossom, try and keep himself alive, but he may just... The kick comes through, and Chovy's not going to fall. The grand entrance comes down yet again, and Poby's now looking for it. Chovy's even able to pick up the kill. Oh dear. T1 not able to make that play work.
Just didn't have enough real clear vision of where Gen.G was and how turnable that was, as Guma's not safe either.
No, Vault Breaker going to come forward here, as he does now have the ultimate available. Vault Breaker comes in, and Peanut says, all right, I guess I'll go out.
Didn't have Flash, so I respect Peanut's attempt there, despite the lack of ult, because he used it in the last fight. But Chovy hitting that double root was so essential to making sure that they could actually win that follow-up fight. Just handled it so well without a stopwatch, doesn't even care. And now Gen.G is going to do Baron on spawn here at 20 minutes. And man, Gen.G just looks so clean right now, and T1 looking a little bit lost. It's not a combination you're looking for if you're a T1 fan. The early game deficit is now snowballing. Those 3 turrets go down, and Chovy wants to set up the play here. And Oner and Poby are like, why is he out here? Like, he's actually stepping forward. This makes this so easy for us. The kick comes through. The double root saves him. And there's just no follow-up here. He just walks away casually. We'll even pick up the kill onto Poby. And I respect the attempt there from Oner. Maybe we can kill this Nico. She's kind of squishy. If she's alone, we blow her up. She's walking out. Oh man, this is free, but she's not alone, and he doesn't have vision of where the rest of Gen.G was.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations, right, where you kind of respect it because T1 know that they're incredibly far behind. They just have to go for whatever plays they can find, throw the Hail Marys where they can get them, and realizing that now it's about taking crazy risks, because if you don't, you're definitely going to lose, so you may as well try your hardest. That didn't work, right? But if at first you don't succeed, give it another crack. You know, let's go back and see whether we can sort it out for next time.
With a 10,000 gold lead here, we might be taking another crack in game 2.
Yeah.
That is to say Atlas, but...
And maybe, like, it's kind of interesting, right? Because Gen.G, they're difficult to draft into. They have a lot of players that are very, very good at a lot of things. But Chovy on Nico was an experiment that they made last time, and it didn't quite work then. And so maybe we're going to ban that one away once more.
Yeah, I mean, Oner is 2 levels down, unfortunately. He's been spending so much time camping. He lost a lot of control of his jungle, obviously, so that's part of why he's now significantly 60 CS down. But the experience as well is an issue because he spent so much time trying to set up for those plays and camping topside, trying to do something for Zeus, trying to kill Chovy, but it didn't come up successful. And, like, I mean, the game state here just plays itself for Gen.G because their comp is so basic. It's so simple to just press R buttons and go in and kill whoever is there. Like, you want to kill Guma, but he's got an R button, but you can, at this point, realistically kill Zeus because he's so far behind. The cleaver is done for Doran. He does so much damage. The Cassante is not going to last, and that's why I said this front-to-back doesn't really work for Guma.
Handbag situation, perhaps, as there are a lot of T1 members down here. Oner looking for it. Doesn't actually find Doran with anything. They just want to grab this turret if they can.
Now they're stuck down here.
Yeah, they're closing in. Killer Instinct from Pays could get him over here as the handshake down onto Doran, but he flashes forward. Gumayusi, he has to cleanse. Chovy doesn't find the Xayah, but he does have a stopwatch, and in goes Peanut. He finds the Flash Vault Breaker. Knockups are everywhere because Delight's turn up as well, and Gen.G once again just destroy T1 in the bottom lane.
And they hard commit to killing the Renekton. He just dashes away. Doesn't even have to flash. He has the flash for the re-engage. But you know what? Not to put salt into the wounds, but this looks like something that would happen with T1 in a lead like this, where Faker looks vulnerable. Like, we gotta catch this guy, and then the rest of T1 shows up. It's Gen.G this time, and Peanut, man, he wants to solo kill the LeBlanc.
Oh, the cease and desist comes through, and there it is. The finisher with the Vault Breaker. Of course, Poby's pretty far behind at this point in time, but that adds some insult to the injury. It's going to be Chemtech Soul, and
Doran, he has his flash still. Guma is kiting away, has to cleanse instantly. Doran does so much here to buy space for Chovy to pop Blossom in, then hits a big Q, and the big ult here from Keria, the one thing that could try to save them and get them away just is a little bit too late and isn't as impactful as you would have liked it to be. And then Poby here just caught farming in mid, and Peanut can ult him over the wall.
Yeah.
He's got a control ward here, and they have been so diligent about getting vision and control vision, especially around this part of the map that we're zooming in on right now, which is why they've been able to make those 2 topside plays so successful. Keria is a Renata?
He is wandering in the top lane for some reason.
He is Renata Glass. That's what he's playing here. I don't think his chances of survival are high.
Yes. Okay. Good. Let's just go to the top. This part of the top lane instead. As well, he's wasting Doran's time. He has the handshake.
Doran can
Stealing
TP
out
of
a
course.
turret. He's going to bail himself out, and he will die.
I mean, he knows. You can see his player cam as well. He's just like, well.
He might have been trying to hold the wave to deny a bit more of the push. But that is me grasping at reasons for a Renata to be just chilling.
Yeah, I mean...
I think we were in a replay, though, so we didn't really get to how he was there in the first place.
He might have also been trying to set up some flank wards, but for Baron, I don't know.
Oh, Delight goes in. That's a nice little double knock up there as he does get some charms. Pays, that's a tank. You're not allowed to do that much damage to Zeus. It's just not fair. It's not how it's supposed to go.
That was very scary for Oner for a moment there. For me, at least, I was like, I don't know if he lives that. But luckily, the minion will take the hit for him.
The minion definitely didn't live that.
No, the minion was not...
instantly exploded.
You know. The minion I'm a little bit less personally concerned for.
Yeah, that's true. There
will be more.
Yeah, there are quite a few of them. It's a bit of a shame, though. We can have a discussion about the welfare of minions.
That minion was a statistic.
Oh, no!
It's one of the 274 that Pace is holding right now.
Keria going to take another one. He doesn't have enough logistics programs to really help him stave these ones off. Pays is very, very big. 3 items now complete as Peanut has found 2 people. Poby just going to get engaged on the Void Seeker. Doesn't quite work out, but still the CC is going to be there. The Renata once again falls down. The LeBlanc down as well. And I think this one's all over, but the Cryan as Gen G just crushing T1 at every single instance. 18-1 is the kill score here. Zeus goes all out, but I think he's all out of options, to be perfectly honest. And Chovy is just getting work done here in this mid lane. He will get another ace. And Gen G will now break open the base and head towards the Nexus.
Just clean play from Gen G here. And T1, they really heavily indexed on making plays on the bottom side, backfired. And then Oner, man, he tried his best to find any sort of angle. And you see him on cam as well here as Keria is going to go down. He's just having a bit of a reality check, you know, in this one. Like, this is not the T1 roster.